What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? JT Best Ball. We're gonna be in some Superflex tonight. Got a little announcement for you guys. It's kind of think it's gonna be pretty interesting. You guys will like it. That's for tomorrow. Anyways, let's get over to it. So we're gonna be doing Superflex tonight. So I wanted to pull this up first before we jump into the drafts. And you guys tell me in the comments what is your strategies for Superflex. So of course we want the quarterbacks, right? But I've kind of been thinking about something all day. You can see on this particular draft, I did kind of what we think is, the right way to draft Superflex. I was in the 9 hole, started Bijan, went Bo Nix, went Drake May. Figured, you know what, CJ's there. Let me get him. I'm just gonna get my 3 quarterbacks. Cook was a good pick on the board. I didn't need to go quarterback again, so we took him. I'm really in on Walker this year. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. So I took him. And then with receiver, I ended up with 8, but my first one was Cortland Sutton. And I really tried with receiver to just, at a decent value, go after my stacks. Try to stack up all 3 of my quarterbacks. Other than the 2 Green Bay guys, Wicks and Golden, which I took Wicks because I already had Golden. Team correlation. We got Sutton to go with Nix. We got the rookie to go with CJ. We got Williams. I wanted Diggs, but Diggs went early, way early. So I got Williams with May. We threw Pat Bryant on there. Figured I have some rookies, so I took old Dusty Slayton, reliable Slayton, just to, kind of help chaperone till those rookies get going. We threw Tesla on there as I think he was our very last pick because we had Hawkinson. Hawkinson, Pitts, and Komet was my 3 tight ends that I ended with. Actually, Komet was my last pick. Tesla was in the 19th spot. But what got me thinking and what I was wondering about is, okay, like, what is the major difference between Superflex format and our regular BBM, or the regular puppies or anything like that? I mean, yes, there's 2 more rounds, and yes, it's Superflex, which definitely makes quarterback more valuable. I am not arguing that point at all. Clearly, on this team, 3 of my first 4 picks were my quarterbacks. But, and I realized that we only need to start 2 receivers. But what really got me thinking about it was this draft here. I don't like what the 10 spot did after his first 2 rounds. But what got me thinking is like, in a regular best ball format, we don't want anything to do with running backs. I say we, a large percentage of the crowd that drafts in May, we're all about the 0 RB. We're all about the hero RB. Let those late round running backs work their magic for us over the course of the season as the chaos happens, as injuries happen. In this format, as far as the setup going 1 through 14, and then there's playoff weeks, is kind of the exact same thing, in my opinion, as far as how it's set up. And so it just got me to thinking, and I was like, it's kind of crazy to me how one less receiver, because we start one less receiver, it really just makes it like a whole different world. Like, yeah, I get it. You want your running backs to hit your flex more than your receivers. They're more consistent. I don't know. It's just a random thought I had. Why aren't we more like that in regular best ball? Well, I know why we're like that, because the late round wide receivers can't produce the way the late round running backs can if there's an injury or something like that. Let's look at late round receivers. A Mitchell, a Lockett. Let's go a little further down. Well, I guess we're at the end. This isn't a good idea because these guys would generally go higher in a regular BBM. But in general, your guys you take at receiver, let's say in an 18 round draft from the 15th round on, or even like the 14th round on, a lot of those guys are, second receivers on a bad team, third receiver maybe on a good team. What generally ends up happening, though, if the starter goes down, sorry about that, 1 second. If the starter goes down, it's not like let's take the Texans. If Nico Collins goes down, we saw last year like Hutchinson isn't stepping in and going 8 for 120 and a touchdown. You know, Mechie isn't stepping in and going 9 for 111 and a touchdown. The work just goes somewhere else. Whoever's the number two, if they're really good, then yes, their workload might increase anyways. But if they're really good, we're probably already drafting them pretty decent anyways. Or the team might try to run more. Or if it's a running quarterback, maybe he uses his legs more. Whereas when you take your Shipleys of the world or, your Braylon Allens, all of my favorite late round running backs, when the best running back went on the best team in the league last year, at least they won the Super Bowl, the Eagles. If Barkley gets hurt this year, if he is out for especially a significant amount of time, Shipley is in a massive role, and they're not going to just not run the ball. So I think, what's going on, Mark? Good to see you in here. So I think with some of my teams, because I'm going to do a lot of these Superflex probably, similar to how I want to try some stuff similar to how this 10 hole did it, where, he said, you know what? I'm going to still take my big boy receivers. I'm going to take Lamb and Jefferson. I see why he did Ladd here because he was probably hoping Herbert would flip. If he really wanted to do that, then he probably should have went Herbert here and he probably could have got Ladd to flip to him there if that's what he was thinking. But I don't want to take another receiver there. I think maybe even here with Chase, something like that. I want to try some teams where I get me a Lamb and a Jefferson, or let's get like a Chase and a Neighbors. And then after that, starting in the third round, let's hit some quarterbacks up. Instead of Ladd here in the third, if he goes Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence, he could have then got CJ before I got to him. Bam, you got two good quarterbacks. You got two good, strong quarterbacks to work with. I think I want to try that a couple times. Start with two stud receivers, but then hit my quarterbacks up. You know, maybe somewhere in here, let's grab a Kenneth Walker. Maybe let's do like a hero type. But then let's play it like a BBM. Let's continue not to load up on receivers because we do only need three, but let's maybe get us 4, 5 just, of these stud receivers. Make sure we got our 2 or 3 quarterbacks that we can count on. And then let's use some of the later rounds still to, you know, take the Zach Charbonnets of the world. Take the Spears, the Bensons, the Garindos, all of the guys that we normally just like love to build teams that way in regular best ball. And on here, it's so funny to me. And I don't even know where I got on the thought from it earlier today. What's up, Who? Good to see you in here, man. Who says he got Jaden, Nico, BTJ. Felt good. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I just I had this thought earlier today watching this 10 hole here when I was doing this draft, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Lamb and Jefferson. I wouldn't have went this same route with Ladd there. I would have started hitting my quarterbacks up. Probably would have passed on a tight end, maybe taking a running back there. Or, well, I'm not in on JSN, but maybe take a running back there. Maybe over here in the 6th, maybe DJ Moore or Devontae Adams. I don't know. Anyways, we'll jump over to the fun stuff now. Speaking of Superflex, that is what we're going to do. I'm going to give it about a 5-second count, and then I am going to enter it. If any of y'all want to hop in it with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're entering the puppy. We have 3 spots left, so there is still time. I always forget to kill my little fan right there. Sorry about that, guys. If sometimes y'all can hear the noise in the background. We're working on it. We're learning. The third needed to be different. You are right. Yeah. And I saw what he was trying to do, but then he even did that wrong because well, I can't say I know for sure, but I'm assuming he was probably trying to get Ladd and then get Herbert to flip around. If that was what he was trying to do, he definitely should have went about it the other way. Friend of the stream and loyal supporter Mark Cox is in here. We're rocking with the two hole. Now, from the two hole, I think I am taking my Lamar or Allen. Y'all seen me draft a couple of these. I definitely like going to skill players from the back. I just feel like that's kind of where the advantage is at. You know, I feel like when you take a quarterback, to me at least, when you take a quarterback in the first 2 rounds on this back end, you're probably reaching, in my opinion, more than you should, or at least more than I like. I actually meant to do a 30-second one, but we're in a 20-second one. We'll make it quick and we'll definitely get another one in, which I planned on doing anyways. I'm by myself tonight, so I think I can handle the 20-second clock. I'm getting more used to it. I'm not gonna lie. The first couple times I did the 20-second clock, it felt a little rushed. I'm not gonna lie. Coming from the dirty DK streets. But hey, we're here now. We're an underdog guy. One day we'll have a badge. We're still badgeless. Looking like a rookie around here. I dragged Mark along with me. He used to be a DK guy too. Mark is in the 10 hole. Top 4 picks are a mega advantage. Can't say my words tonight. It's been a long week, guys. I'm glad school ended today. My days will get a lot less hectic. The last week of school is always crazy because it always coincides with like the end of season soccer tryouts for the next year, all the end of school parties and all that nonsense. But yeah, I agree with you. Who I'll put it back up there again? The top 4 picks are an advantage, and I've seen some people right in here, still go ahead and take Chase, and I just feel like that's not a good move. I'm always going to take one of those 4 if I have a top 4 pick. I haven't really picked. I haven't done near as many as you. Who This is probably only about my 5th, 6th Superflex so far. I got a couple slows going too, but I just started them over the course of yesterday and today, so they really haven't moved anywhere yet. But I don't think I would take Burrow right in there. What about you? Who or would do you go Burrow right in the middle? I think once I get to 5, I'm probably more likely to then go Chase or Bijan or Barkley myself. I want one of those first 4 that got the rushing upside to them. If not, I want to take my position players. I've only had one top 4 pick so far. It was actually the first pick. We went Allen, so that's kind of nice. Now we get Lamar. Me and Huhames drafted a Lamar team in BBM last night. Turned out pretty good. Now see here, I have Lamar, and I think I can still probably get a couple quarterbacks here a few rounds later. So I might just do kind of what I was talking about from this end of the board. Because I like Nico a lot. I like Neighbors a lot. I like BTJ a lot. I liked Amon more when I used to play on DK. I know. Don't kill me, who. I know you're going to, where's the running backs? But I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Neighbors, and I'm going to take my boy Nico. Assuming this guy doesn't take it, of course, but which he could, I guess. But if not, we got BTJ. We got Amon. We're going to get one of those 3. I take a whole lot of HN, so this is the time I'm going to mix it up. Plus, he took HN anyways. Let's see what that one hole does right there. Then I'll flip it back to the board for you guys. He took Prescott. We're going to go ahead and grab Nico. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if another stud receiver, not in the fourth and fifth, I'm going to get at least one quarterback, maybe two. We'll see what the board looks like. But at some point, sixth round, seventh round, if there's another really good receiver I like who has, maybe a little fall in ADP, I still won't be afraid to take him. And I think with this one, I'm going to do like we were talking about at the beginning, give me maybe one running back who I think I can kind of count on and just try to attack it like we would a BBM and see how the team turns out. We'll see how it goes. Because I know why we're doing it. I know why we're pulling the running backs up so much, but I almost feel like maybe, just maybe, it's getting a little too overdone. I don't know. I want to try some different teams. Y'all saw the one at the beginning. I took three quarterbacks and three running backs. I think that was my first six picks. So I'm just trying to mix it up, build some different style teams. See what Mark's doing over there in the 10 hole. I like that start. Bijan, Baker, Herbert. Grabbed him a lad. Can't argue with that. Let's see. I don't want to worry about tight end here, so we're going to filter it with our running backs and our quarterbacks. We're going to see what pops up. Got my eye on somebody. Guy right now picking has two, so decent chance he slides to me. I like a quarterback, but I'm going to see if I can get the quarterback to flip to me because I also like Brees Hall. And I'll be okay if I have to take Penix. We could take Tua and hope he stays healthy. He's got two quarterbacks, so there's a chance he doesn't pass or he doesn't take one. And we want Bryce Young. So we have Lamar and Young. Took us a running back in Hall. Then we got a couple stud receivers and Neighbors and Collins. We'll see what comes back around to us. Tomorrow night, guys, I have another guest coming on. As you know, I'm new to streaming. I'm also new to Underdog World. I think you guys are going to like it. I'm going to keep it a secret, but in the middle of the afternoon, whenever you see the thumbnail, you'll know who he is. I guarantee you all of you guys know him. And I think it'll be a really fun stream. And I hope you'll tune in tomorrow night. Is going to be a special time. We are going to start at 8:30 Central. Had to kind of juggle the time around a little bit to make it work, to have him on. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what Mark does over there in the 10 hole. Probably draft a couple of them tonight if you guys want to draft some with me on the next one. At least one more. We'll see what we're feeling like. School's out, so I don't have to get up as early in the morning. We can go a little longer now. Giants, Raiders, Giants. Sorry about that. Move it down a little bit for you guys. I like these Superflex though. I think it's interesting. I think as long as I think there's so many ways that we can attack this, and I feel like there's definitely more roster constructions that could be successful compared to BBM just with the whole Superflex. You know, there's some that of course are going to be dead. If you build a team with one legitimate QB and just a whole bunch of backups because you got boxed out and waited way too long, probably going to be tough. I might wait a little bit longer. We need to get us. We'll get us another running back probably. No, I don't know. Let's see. There's a couple running backs we like, so we're actually going to go ahead and take a little bit of a discount for how the ADPs are right now, at least. We're going to take a third receiver. We're not afraid of it. Give us big boy Tet. Pair them up with Young. I have two quarterbacks, so if I get boxed out on a good third, I'm not afraid to draft the backup quarterbacks later. I have Lamar. He's going to carry me every week except week 7. He should be in my lineup, which I think that's, like who Hames was saying at the beginning, how it's an advantage. That's why I agreed with him because when you have one of those studs, I don't think you have to force as much having the 3 just reliable QBs because you need them to more so ping pong. We're going to go ahead and grab Walker. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So it's not quite turning out like I thought it was. I don't know. It's hard, and see, we get brainwashed, right? I've been as I was driving around today, I was listening to a bunch of different streams in and out, and watching other people draft and stuff like that, and everybody's pushing the running backs up, and I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. There's only 2 receiver spots versus 3, but I couldn't make myself do it. One of these teams, though, I'm gonna build more like a true zero RB team. But I am really high on Kenneth Walker. That's partly why I went ahead and did it because I am really high on him, and we do have 3 receivers already. And I didn't really want to go for a quarterback right there. I think we're kind of getting to that point where the quarterbacks are gross enough that they're not gonna fly off the board. See what everybody else has. Mark has 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. Everybody's got a couple quarterbacks at least. Mark goes with Connor. And Pacheco. I'm not in on Pacheco, Mark. I can't get there with him. Like, one, I mean, not San Francisco. Kansas City's offense, I think, is going to make a lot of people mad in one way or another this year because Pacheco's price isn't expensive, but it also isn't super cheap. The reason just Pacheco alone, let's talk about him first. So he had the same injury, that Andrews had, the same injury that Pollard had. Pollard's first year back, he didn't look good at all. Didn't really have his explosiveness. I'm going to make the pick and then we'll finish talking about it. Might grab Chuck here. The guy in front of me has 2. Don't love any of those receivers. Not really a tight end. We're going to go ahead and grab Chuck. We'll get through this little round of picks here, and then we'll talk about it some more. Don't want Wilson. Don't want Jones. And then there's a really big drop off. So I'm going to, plus, I got three quarterbacks. One of them, I'm not sure if he'll be starting. But the other ones, we know they'll be starting. I'm going to go ahead and grab my boy Hawkinson here. It's a little early, but we're at the corner. We got to do what we got to do. I'm a huge fan of his this year, and I like his price. I've been smashing him a lot, probably not slowing down on that. But anyways, I could definitely see Pacheco struggling, maybe not quite having the juice. Andrews caught a fair amount of touchdowns last year, but he started the season, kind of slow. I'd have to go actually look at his game log. Give me a second. I'm gonna go look at Mark Andrews' game log because I have in my head, I could be wrong, but I have in my head that he started slow and that a lot of those touchdowns came later in the year. Let's see. Sorry about that. The ad on ESPN. That's always fun. So Mark Andrews last year, at the beginning of the year, his first one, two, three, four, five. Well, some of those are no, those aren't preseason. Those are regular. His first 5 or 6 games, he had no touchdowns, very few catches. His first kind of decent game, wasn't even yardage wise, was in end of October. He had a 4 for 41 and 2 touchdowns. He finished the year hot. He finished the year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 6 weeks. He had a touchdown. What's up, Hartman? Glad you stopped in, brother. From the one hole just started Josh Allen, Caleb, TJ. Hey, that's nice. You should have hopped in this one. Who? Let's get over here and make our pick. We are on the 22nd clock. We're going to draft another one after this if anybody wants to hop in. We're doing 22nd Superflexes tonight. Still don't like any of those quarterbacks. We have 3, and we have Lamar. I'm going to take a Jaylen Warren. I'm not out on Warren. I like Warren. I'm cautious of the rookie. I don't know. I'm not a big Johnson guy. Like I could see it working, but I think Warren is still going to be a part of their plan. Should have took Andrews. I was hoping Andrews would come back to me. Oh well. He didn't. No biggie. Really didn't want another tight end this early right now. Anyways, we just like the idea. I don't really like Tracy or Tootin. I'm going to go ahead and get Shakir. He's probably Josh Allen's number 1. That'll give us 4 receivers. Let's look at the team. What do we have going on? We have Lamar. We have Young. We took Shook. We went Brees, Walker, and Warren. All of their bye weeks are different, so that's nice. Didn't even do it on purpose. Just happened. We have Neighbors, Nico. We did the Lamar, Nico, and Neighbors with the 2nd and 3rd round pick. We took Tet, paired him with Young. Took Shakir for our 4th receiver. We have Hawkinson. He's our dude. We like him a lot at tight end this year. I like how it's going. We'll see. I may end up taking one more QB. I'm okay leaving a team like this with 3 QBs. I am because I know I'm going to get Lamar hit in my lineup every week. If Lamar is hurt for any significant amount of time, he's my team's dead anyways. I need him in there. I need him playing. If I took any other QB on this team, it may be like a Rattler, because then at least I would probably lock up New Orleans QB room to where I know I'm going to have three QBs between Jackson, Young, and whoever New Orleans QB is. That kind of would give me Bryce Young or the New Orleans quarterback room to give me a second QB score every week, other than bye weeks, of course. Who took my boy Milrow and how high did he go? He keeps going higher and higher on this dang board. The first day you could still get Milrow like back here around like the 15th or so. Now I see him going to 10th. He went in the 9th just now. Y'all know how I feel about him though. Oh, it failed on you, man. No worries. Like I said, if you want to hang around, I'm going to do another one after this. At least one more. We'll see. I enjoy your streams. Love your style of drafting. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Not sure who you are, but I appreciate it, and you're welcome back anytime. We're normally on about 9:45 Central. With that said, tomorrow, if you missed it, we got a big special guest. Think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm going to keep it a secret, but it will be a special time, 8:30. Had to kind of change up my time just to kind of make it work with his time. But you guys tune in. You'll see it on the thumbnail tomorrow. I think you're really going to enjoy it. We went and found another underdog bro to help break us in. Friends of the stream, Hartman and Who Hames already came through this week, helping fully convert us over. No, I don't need to go him yet, though. I need to quit talking with these 20-second clocks. I'm going to take Benson because he's another backup running back that I like a lot. We might pop back over to receiver here. Hopefully nobody takes Bateman. I figured it was right about the time he would be there. And we got it right. We'll grab Bateman just since we have Lamar. We want to have some stacks. I don't know what we'll do around when it comes around this again, like the 160s. But anyways, hope you guys can make it tomorrow. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. I'll go ahead and tell y'all, man. It's just you guys in here, and y'all been so helpful to me and welcomed me into the whole streaming in the underdog world. As of right now, it's in the books. We had to adjust the time a little bit, 8:30 to make it work. But the one, the only, my other nighttime streamer, obviously way bigger than me, BBG is going to join the stream at 8:30 tomorrow, and we're going to knock out a BBM real quick. I moved the time up because obviously he's established and I'm not, and he still wanted to stream on his channel afterwards. So we'll probably make it a short stream tomorrow and hop off after one. I'll probably jump over and hop in some of his drafts, not on his stream or whatever, but just get off of my stream and just draft some drafts and whatever he's doing. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I'll say this, man. I am super thankful for all of you guys helping me out as much as y'all have and welcoming me in to the Underdog community and the best ball space on YouTube. But especially that guy, man, because he is, he's not small. Like, he's got a nice sized channel, and for like a week and a half or so, I just shot a question at him about a week and a half ago, like asking him about something. I forget what it even was now, the original question. But he responded to me, and answered it. Oh, it was just kind of, like about, he's one of the guys that helped kind of convince me to move fully over to Underdog, just talking to me about how, he has tried some DK drafts here and there when he first started. And he's just been very welcoming for somebody his size. You know, a lot of people that big probably wouldn't even give the time of day to somebody who's new in the industry or new to this at least. But he answered a bunch of my questions and never hesitated. Didn't seem like I was bothering him or anything. And it was actually him who, told me, hey, like, if you ever want me to come on, let me know. So I asked him. He said he would. I changed my time because that's the least I can do to show him how thankful I am. It'll be fun, though. It'll be fun to pick his brain. I like watching a lot of his stuff, especially when he has that, when him and Neil get together. Some of those streams can be entertaining. All right, let's see here. What we got going on? Sometimes I get to talking too much. We got our three quarterbacks. Is he still on the board? Now will be about the time. Maybe reach and get him. I don't know. Let's see what else is out there. We don't really want to run of those running backs right now. QJ. I don't really want to tight end. Got 4 running backs. You know what? If I can get it quick enough, let's get Eckler. Nope, didn't get it quick enough. Oh well, need to get a little quicker. We're learning. We're learning. The 20-second clocks we're still adjusting to. I was going to take both of those two guys right here. Anyways, maybe he won't take Eckler. If he does, we'll go with somebody else. We have 5 receivers. And because we started with Nico and Collins, I don't really want to go too heavy with receiver. He did take him. We're going to keep with the team stack. And we're going to get Dowdle. We like him. If Chuba gets hurt, he's the backup. That's what we were talking about, at the beginning of the stream is I don't understand or to me I think there's a little bit of an imbalance. Like in BBMs or regular style drafts, we don't want anything to do with running backs early. Just, as in general, the slappy mentality or whatever. And all that really changes in this particular tournament is, yes, we got to make sure we have the quarterbacks because of the setup, because of it being super flex. And there is only 2 wide receiver spots. But me personally, I don't know. I still like all those backup running backs. And they could still help a team like this immensely, having our Bensons and our Dowdles of the world when the injuries happen just like in the other style tournaments. Yes, for sure, for sure. The community is definitely awesome. Yeah, like I said, I was really blown away, man, with how easily he was to talk to and responded to my questions and stuff and never seemed like I was bothering him. But all of you guys though, all of you guys, we'll all hang out on stream. I know Who Hames and Hartman's already been on here. Best Ball on call, and I think you got a channel too. If you want to do something, either yours or mine, we can get together. That's why I started doing this. The last 2 years, I sat at this desk almost every night from May until the season starts drafting best ball teams. And I listen to streams all day, kind of with my earbud while I'm doing stuff around the house or running my kids wherever. I had thought about it at the end of last year, but it was almost the end of best ball season, and I didn't really have any good ideas then for like starting out, and then how can you really grow a channel that you want to kind of be focused just on best ball in the off season or in the regular season, which is best ball's kind of off season. So I waited. Probably should have started it about a month or so early, but to be April was just kind of crazy. We had some stuff going on with my oldest son who has now moved out of our house, but it was just a really busy and hectic time, so it got delayed a little bit. But here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and flip over real quick. Then we're gonna go look at Mark's team in a minute. Should we be scared of Fryermuth? as a tight end since Jonnu might get traded there. I don't want any more quarterbacks on this team. I think I'm going to be good at quarterback. We have 5 running backs. I wouldn't mind taking one more. And he's my dude. Y'all know I love my Shipley. I don't want Dobbs. We're going to do that. We're going to take Shipley. Probably going to save tight end for the very last couple picks of this draft, I think. I got Hawkinson. He'll kind of hold the room down for me. Wanted to get Shaheed, but he's already gone. Maybe we should go take some more stabs at quarterback. I don't like any of those guys. They're gross. We could go one more running back. Why not, right? JT may get hurt. Jacobs may get hurt. Indian Jags. We don't have any Jags. We got to go Lloyd, right? Got to go Lloyd. It's a bring back. We got Lamar. We got Bateman. Maybe Jacobs is hurt week 17 and we're in the finals. Lloyd out there running around trying to keep up with the Ravens. It could happen. Let's see what we're working with. Excuse me. Taco night catching up with me. We have a 4-7-5-1 in the works. Lamar Young in New Orleans room. I'm okay with that. Running backs of Brees, Kenneth Walker, Jalen Warren, Trey Benson, Rico Dowdle, Will Shipley, Marshawn Lloyd. Receiver room. Yeah, we only have 5, but we started Nico and Neighbors, so that's why I'm not too worried about it if we only end with 6 or 7, because we did start Nico, Neighbors, and Tet. Threw on Bateman for the stack. Shakir, Hawkinson. Let's start looking at what we want to do. Then we'll hop back over. Could do that. What is Mark working with over here? Mark started Bijan, then he went Baker Herbert, Lad Evans, Anthony Richardson, Connor Pacheco, Godwin and Jonnu. Better watch out. Jonnu's getting traded to Pittsburgh. That's the rumors. Pittman and Shaheed. You stole Shaheed from me. You dirty dog. Kincaid, Bigsby, Pierce, Otten, Adonai Mitchell, and Hunt. Mitchell, you had AR, didn't you? Did I remember right? Yeah, I thought so. That's a nice room. Baker, Herbert, Anthony Richardson. He'll start the year. We'll see how long he actually plays the year. I actually want both of these tight ends because it would complete stacks and I'll be done at tight end. But we're going to take him first because we don't have any New Orleans pass catchers. And there's not any other ones that we want from New Orleans once Shaheed is gone other than Jonnu. So we're going to do that. See if we can't get Sanders to flip around to us. If he does, we'll take him. We're in the 19th round. We have one more pick left, and we'll throw on some 6th receiver. Call it a day. He made it back to us. That worked out nice. That makes me feel a lot better. I was kind of worried because I have the whole New Orleans quarterback room, but I didn't have anything. At least now I have Johnson with them. We have Bryce doubled with Tet. and Sanders. It's going to be all right. I'm kind of liking the team. We'll flip back over to the board. If you're watching and you haven't hit the like already, do your boy a favor and hit that like for me. It really helps us out. If you haven't subbed, at the start of this, we were at 48, and my goal for the end of May was 50. I do not stream normally on Saturdays. I won't be streaming this Saturday night. So we have tonight and tomorrow night. Y'all can give me 2 subs. We can get it. I know we'll get there. I got faith. We're going to be at it almost every night, though. I don't know about Sunday yet. I got a kind of busy weekend. I'm going down to taking my daughters down to San Antonio to meet up with my parents and my my aunt, and play around in the pool all day Saturday. So we'll see what I feel like Sunday. I'll probably be on though, more than likely. Monday through Friday we're always on unless something comes up. It's a ways away, but in June, I think it's like June. I don't know. I'll tell y'all when it gets closer, but sometime Friday in June, I think it's around June 20th. That very next week, I'm going to be out of town in Chicago. That'll probably be the only week of the summer where I don't stream every night. I'm going to take the bare necessities of equipment and try to get a couple in from the Airbnb. We'll see what their internet's like and stuff. But anyways, that Friday, as it gets closer, who Hames, Hartman, some of you guys, I'm going to reach out to y'all. I'm going to try to do like a little, you know, long edition or whatever, streamathon, whatever they call them. It's not going to be nothing crazy like 12 hours or nothing like that. My kids wouldn't allow it, and my wife would be pretty mad. But I'm going to start like maybe 6 o'clock that day and basically just, I don't know, we'll stream pretty late that night. We'll see how it goes. We'll probably end up ripping a whole bunch of drafts that night. Figure I'm going to be out of town and not on as much that next week. That'll be something good to do before we head out of town. Be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to line up a lot of guests for that night so it's not just me talking to y'all for 6 hours, 7 hours, however long it ends up being. Let's see what receiver we want to throw on here. As soon as I clicked over to the board, I see one guy. I see 2 guys at work. We'll see what the room leaves us. And they left Wicks. We're going to take them because that just makes our week 17 a little bit more juicy. Now we have the Lamar and Bateman. We already had taken Marshawn Lloyd. Now that gives us a little Dontavian Wicks in that game as well. And we like it. We finished with the 4-7. I hate when it does that. Completed. I'm learning the system, guys. I'm learning the system. Back to the comments. Let's see. Lloyd is starting to worry me because he's always hurt, and they're looking into that physical. Yeah. He does too, and I don't take him I don't take him a whole lot. This one I took him just because I had Lamar. I mean, hopefully he'll be healthy at the end of the year, and Jacobs won't. I'll be on vacation next week. I subbed a couple weeks ago. Thanks, my man. I appreciate it. I love San Antonio. Take my kids to SeaWorld there a couple times a year. You're in Texas? What part of Texas you from? I'm a Texas boy myself. Been here pretty much my whole life. Let's look at it though. We had Lamar with our 4 QB. Well, really we'll call it a 3 QB because we just have Lamar and Bryce Young in the whole New Orleans room. So we can never have 4 quarterbacks really playing at once or as an option at once. Running back room, we finished with Brees, Walker, Jalen, Benson, Dowdle, Shipley, Lloyd. We like it. We feel good about that. We had our stud receivers in Nico, Neighbors, and Tet. Chilled for a while, then came back with Shakir, Bateman, and Wicks. Bateman's the Lamar stack. Wicks is the bring back. Hawkinson's one of my favorite clicks on the board for where he goes. Finished it with Jonnu and Sanders late just to complete it. Let's go look at Mark's team since he was in here. And then we'll hop in another one if you guys want to jump in it. Mark finished with the 3-5-9-3. He went Baker, Herbert, and Richardson as his QBs. Started with Bijan, the anchor. Came back with Connor, Pacheco, Bigsby, and Hunt. I like it. Kind of a little safety net for Pacheco there. Ladd, Evans, Godwin, Pittman, Rashid, Pierce, Mitchell, Coker, Douglas. I tell you what, Mark, if Richardson magically figures out how to throw, that team's going to be fire. But he's got to figure out how to throw to all those guys first. Jonnu at tight end, Kincaid, and Otten also. But if he does half-ass throw the ball, that's a triple stack Richardson. You don't see it too often. All right. Fort Worth. Yeah. I'm in the Austin area. I grew up in the Houston area, but we've lived in Austin for like the last 8 years or something like that now. My wife's up there from the Fort Worth, Dallas area. She grew up in Grapevine up that way. All right, let's hop in another one. If any of y'all are around and you want to hop in it, I think we're going to stick with the 20-second Superflex again. They're fun. I'm going to enter it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Entering now. Need 4 people. There's room. Hop on in if you want. Let me see. Go put that banner back like that. Boom. I'm still learning all my options on here too. We had switched over to StreamYard. I guess it's almost a week ago. I think it was last Sunday. We don't recognize any names in here. If you're in here though, let me know. I'll shout you out. I am the only non-badge in here. Swimming with the sharks, as they say. But that's where I think the badge thing can be confusing, because, sometimes it might just be, somebody learning. But, like, I don't know. In my case, I feel like I know what I'm doing in best ball. I've had pretty dang good success in DraftKings the last 2 years. I just never really played on Underdog other than last year was the first year I really played at all on them. And I did maybe like 15 Superflex and about 50 or so of the Eliminators last year. So don't let us non-badges fool you. Sometimes we actually know what we're doing. We have the 4 spot. We're going to take one of the quarterbacks. 5 is where I think I'm going to start taking position players. I would love it if Daniels fell to me, but he probably won't, and he didn't. So we'll go Hurts. Got to take advantage of having the early pick, though. Doc's in here at 5. Dang, is it really a 5-minute delay? Jumped in and it was like +7. Oh well. We'll see what time it is. I may do one more tonight, Hartman. Like I said, I don't have to get up as early anymore now that this was the last day of school. It's so funny with kids, my youngest is going into 6th grade next year, so they're older now. And I remember when they were younger, like, because I have They're all of my girls are pretty close in age. Like this year, I had one in eighth grade, one in seventh grade, and one in fifth grade. And then we have an older boy, but he's 18, grown. He's doing his own thing nowadays. But I remember, maybe 3, 4 years ago when they were all younger and they were all elementary age, and I had like a, first grader, second grader, a first grader, third grader, fourth grader. I absolutely hated summers. It was the worst. I should have recognized your name, Doc. My bad. Um, because younger kids are stressful. It was fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing the dad thing. But now that they're getting a little older and they actually sleep in, summers are nice because I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which means we can stay up later drafting more best ball teams. Oh, well, that's good to know. It wasn't me. Mark says he's on a 5 minute delay. Do we want to go with neighbors again? Why not? I really like neighbors. Let's mix it up. We had him with Lamar last time, so it's a little different combination. See what comes back to us. Seems like it's kind of half and half with the first four picks. I see some people doubling up like that, and then others I see going running back or receiver. That's what I've noticed so far. We're going to reach down a little bit since we have Hertz, and we're going to do the double wide receiver tap in this area and get Brown to go with our boy. Nothing wrong with that. Doc was in the 5 hole. He started Jamar, Amon, and then grabbed Golf. Let's see what some other guys are doing. And this right here is exactly why I kind of tend to go double position player back here. Because I feel like the first part of the board, those first four picks, is definitely the right play, in my opinion, to take one of those guys. But, I mean, are we really, just because it's Superflex, drafting Patrick Mahomes over Gibbs, Genty? I don't even really like taking a quarterback right here. I like really starting running back, or I want to start two starting like that one I showed y'all at the beginning of the stream. It wasn't mine, but he was drafting in the 11 hole. I was drafting in the 10 hole, and somebody got a JJ right there and a Lamb right there. I like that start. I didn't like the rest of his team from about three down. I thought he kind of let it get too off the rails, as they say. But I did like the start. And that's what got me thinking I wanted to try some tonight. When the picks were there that I liked, I'm not going to stretch for anything that I don't like. If running backs are there I like, I'll take them. But I'm finding that the front part of this board, I'm really liking one of these stud QBs with the wide receiver combos that are there. Let's see what the board is trying to give us on the way back here. got Jacobs out there. We got Higgins out there. We need a running back at some point. Where's the BTA? He's right there on the other side of me too. We're going to grab Trevor. Get us a second quarterback. To me, there's kind of a tier break right there. I actually like Young over Tua, and I actually like Young over McCarthy just because I feel like there's an unknown. Everyone just assumes he's going to be good. He had one deep ball highlight throw in the preseason last year, and then he got hurt. He didn't really throw the ball a lot in college. I mean, let's face it, it was his defense and his running game that they relied on. I don't know. He has JJ. JJ can make Sam Darnold good. McCarthy has to be really bad to not be good. So I do take him on JJ teams. I haven't taken him any when I don't have JJ, but I have taken him on some JJ teams. Let's get through this pick, then we'll catch up on some of the comments. Flip it back over to the board for you guys. We have two receivers, and we don't have any running backs. I'm going to take Kyron. Everyone's trying to write him off. Last year, we thought he was going to be a punt returner, so we didn't want to draft him, or we pushed him down a little bit. I took Brees on the last one. Let's take Kyron on this one. We got way behind on you guys. Sorry about that. I definitely understand. I have two daughters, 4, 6, 21-year-old son. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm glad my youngest is 11 now, though. It's a lot better, a lot less stressful. I have years left of being a full-blown degenerate. Luckily, I wish best ball was around when I was in my 20s and had nothing better to do and played countless and endless fantasy football leagues for free. Hartman gets out of my rooms. I never. I'm not getting EVs. I'm just going to snipe. My first Mahomes share in 28 drafts. I'm surprised about that one as much as you take Rice. I guess, do you just not like his price? Some guys in my room just took Mahomes over Gibbs too. Crazy stuff people are doing these days. Sounds like a Chief fan. Let's get back over here. Sometimes that little thing at the top I notice isn't accurate. It was actually you that pointed it out on your stream today, Who Hames, when you were talking about your double auto pick draft I guess it was a week ago on stream. Like right now, mine at the top says I'm 15 picks away, but I knew I wasn't that far away. Got two quarterbacks, two that we like. Another one on the board that we also like. You know what? I'm going to use this as a chance to not be a stone cold out on a guy. Y'all know I'm not the highest on Travis Hunter, but we do got Trevor Lawrence. So it makes sense from that aspect. So we're going to take him in this one. I have a hard time clicking him too in Superflex, but makes sense getting some exposure. Yeah, I would be out on Mahomes in the Superflex for sure. At the beginning of the year, whenever I was over on DraftKings, you could get a real nice over there. You could get a Worthy Rice Mahomes stack at a really good price the first couple weeks that that contest was out. I did that a couple of times over there. Let's see what flips to us. The two hole went with Richardson. See, is there a tight end we want? Nope, not really. You know what? I'm gonna do this one that way. I like JMO. I know I got four receivers already, and I can only start two. But if all four of them go nuts, I mean, we can start one in the super flex. So technically, we could start four receivers. We don't want to. We ideally want to start a quarterback. I got Hurts. I got Lawrence. I didn't really want to spend that pick on one of those guys that was still out there. Exactly. That's why I'm not touching Mahomes either in here. That's what I was just talking about. Someone took him at the end of one in this particular draft. Yeah, I'll probably start doing the same after some more volume. I think I have one Mahomes in like 15 Superflex. I just can't do it. I can't take Mahomes over Gibbs or even any of those stud receivers. I can't take Mahomes over those quarterbacks. Give me Bo Nix over Mahomes. At least he's going to run around a little bit. Who Hames? I'll be interested to hear from you. Is KC going to be back this year as far as like their passing game with all those guys they have now if they're healthy? Are we going to get back to like 3 years ago? Y'all's defense should still be pretty dang good though. So I don't know. I started to talk about it earlier in the last draft and then I got sidetracked. I do that too sometimes. My wife says I have ADHD. Um, there's a lot of pieces being drafted from Kansas City's offense between Worthy, Rice. Pacheco's price isn't that bad, I guess. I'm not drafting him just because I'm really concerned about the injury. But they have other running backs there, and at least the last couple years, I hate to say it, but they're a short passing team and running team for the most part. Why can Mahomes not hook up with Worthy? What's your thoughts on that, Who? He had so many passes last year that were just like very surprisingly not good when he was trying to connect with Worthy for it being Patrick Mahomes. Let's see, what do we got here? Two quarterbacks, got only the one running back. I know who we're going to get. I think he stayed. We're going to grab Judkins. We're a Judkins fan. We've been drafting him a decent amount. Gives us two running backs we feel good about starting the year. We got a strong little core of receivers there. Neighbors, Brown, Hunter, Williams. Just kind of looking through here, seeing what we want to do next. We kind of hit that spot where I don't know what I want to do for a third quarterback because I feel like I'm going to have to reach to get somebody. And with the players on the board, I'm not ready to do that. We don't need another receiver right now. Probably running back or tight end. Just talked about we don't like Pacheco. We took him on the last team, but he's our dude, so we'll take him on this team too. I'm I think Hawkinson might be one of my favorite clicks on the board this year. I mean, I know these ADPs are a little off, but in a normal draft, he goes about 80-ish, I think, somewhere right in there. And before the year he got injured, the dude was tight end one. So I feel like if he can be a top four tight end, and not if Bow let's say Bowers and McBride finish 1 and 2, which football never really works out that way. But if they did, and Hawkinson's not too far behind, maybe at 3 or 4, for how much later he goes in the draft, I've been all over that this year. Hardman says he lies. He does have a Mahomes share. Took Mahomes because I was guaranteed to get a good running back. I think injury killed us last year, but it's still risky. The decline of KC fantasy value started when Nagy came back. But it's still Andy Reid calling the plays. Tyreek is maybe the best of all time at adjusting to the ball downfield. Who knows? Maybe he never was good at throwing a deep ball. Well, that's what he did at Texas Tech though too, was sling it everywhere. I don't know. I forget who it was, but somebody was talking about him. It was one of the bigger guys. I don't know if it might have been Maddox, because Maddox drafted nothing but Chiefs last year and it killed him. And he was going off on him, talking about, how he thinks, all the off field stuff, between how much drama his family can be, and he's in how many damn different State Farm commercials now and stuff. I forget what show it was on, but he was trying to go down the he's distracted path. Let's see what we're going to do here. 2 running backs. The guy in the 3 hole only has 2 quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks. We took Warren on the last team. We're not that in love with him. We'll go ahead and get Shakir. That gives me a 5th receiver. We got Brown paired with Hurts. We got Hunter, of course, with Lawrence. We got Hawkinson. We might grab us another quarterback here. I think most of y'all know who it will be if he stays on the board. He's not going to make it back to me. And with a room like this, I think I'm going to do it. I would rather take my boy Milrow over Jones. Worst case, if he's not quite played, bye week's week 8. I think Jalen Milrow will be playing by week 9. I pulled their schedule up on stream the other night. Seattle has a very, very tough first 7 games of the season, finishing with game 7 against my Houston Texans, who our defense should be really, really, really good this year. I could just see that being the game after, let's say they go 2-4, and now they play the Texans and Darnold just looks bad against that defense. Been looking bad all year. Going into your bye week. Week 9, they're going to put the rookie in there. I could be wrong, but that's a bet I'm willing to make. And we're all going to lose anyway, so why not make the bets we want to make? You guys let me know in the chat if y'all want to do another draft after this. If you do, we can try to work out some kind of new timer. Maybe we can all get in the same draft. And I'm open to something else too. If you guys want to do a pug or whatever, I'm kind of debating in my head right now if I want to do a third one tonight. If a couple people want to do it with me, that'd be enough to keep me around for sure. All right, let's see here. We grabbed a 5th receiver and we really liked the first 4. We just really didn't like anything else on the board. We took Milrow. Now is when I want to start just filling out my running back room, probably the next few rounds, with all of my favorite backup running backs. Week 8, what running backs do I got an 8 and a week 9 bye. We got Shakir on this team. Could do that. You know what? Did I get him in time? Oh, dang. I tried to click Benson in time, but I didn't. At least they gave me a receiver that I like. Y'all tell me, does Underdog auto pick it for you before that last second actually goes away? Because I swear I clicked that star when I still had 1 second left. I like Shaheed, though. It's earlier. Well, actually, he's past ADP. I didn't really want a receiver there. Oh, well. Got to be a little quicker with my decisions on the 20-second clock. I think I kind of changed my mind on what running back I want anyways. After we get through this one, we're going to go look at Doc's team. I haven't looked at his yet since the beginning. See what he's working with over there. He's got a 4-4-3-1 building in the works. We're going to take Ray Davis. We drafted Shakir earlier. We like Buffalo's offense. His bye week's a little bit different than our other running backs. A little team correlation. A little bring back action. We like it. In the 5 hole, Doc started with Jamar and then Amon. He grabbed Goff and Chase Brown. Bryce Young is a QB2. Locked up my other tight end target in Kittle. He went with Kamara. Tyler Shook. I think that's how we're saying his name. Olave, Warren, Jones, Spears, and Kirk. Nice little team you got going on over there, buddy. We'll look at it more in depth in the end. Exactly. Get your guys. We're all losing anyways. Might as well have fun, right? That's what we're here for. Usually, if you already have started, you can slide the right guy up in time, but actually starting the guy is slight delay. That makes sense. I'll have to be better about that. It hasn't happened too many times to me Although I think it was me and you that got Otto Dalton Schultz on that BBM team. I mean, he was a top tight end on the board, so it's not the end of the world. Dalton Schultz just pissed me off last year, though. That guy, for being a tight end, plays with no physicality whatsoever. I mean, he does not like contact. He does not like to block. Not the best traits for a tight end to have, or non traits, I guess you should say. Let's go. Let's go Eckler. I think that's what we want to do. Yeah, let's go Eckler. With the first four receivers we got, and we're at six, if we don't stay at six, we won't draft any more than seven. Probably just going to be done at quarterback. I may throw one of those backups on there if it gets to a point where I don't like anybody else on the board. We're going to grab Strange as a second tight end. I'm in on. I need to draft more Lawrence. I just realized it when I drafted him on this Superflex that I don't really take him a lot in regular style tournaments, but I am in on their offense. Their defense isn't going to be that good. He has all the weapons in the world now. I mean, I think Strange is a decent little tight end. You got Hunter. BTJ's a stud. If this ain't the year for Lawrence, it isn't happening. You got a good play caller now. I know what it is I'm still just trying to adjust my strategy from site to site because on DraftKings, my favorite build by far over there is, at least this year, for even more so, is I felt the elite QBs on DraftKings were overpriced and that their price wasn't going to go up at any point over the summer, but their price would go down a decent amount. So when I was drafting over there, I was almost never drafting the top quarterbacks, and I was building almost all of my teams as 3, 4 QB builds with that big pocket that starts like around Kyler on back, Dak, CJ, Love, all of those guys, Bryce, and I just didn't end up with much Trevor over there. I think I might have had him on a team or two. What round are we in? 16th round? I don't know. If you guys want to draft after this, I don't know. I'm almost kind of feeling like doing one of those pugs or something different. A quick little 20-second 18 rounder. We can do a super flex though if y'all want to. Let me know if you want to draft something after this. What's my running back room? We took Kyron and Judkins. Then we got the Ray Davis for the bring back and team stack. Took Eckler. We only got 1 week 9 bye. Let's grab our boy Shipley. Shipley's been another one of my favorite clicks so far this year. See what comes back around to us. There's one particular player I'm hoping comes around to us, but I honestly don't think he will. But if he does, we'll like it and we'll scoop him up. And he just went. I was going to grab Kirk Cousins. Probably should have grabbed him that time, but I also really like Shipley. And if I have to stay with 3 QBs with Milrow, it's a little scary, but because I have Lamar, I'm willing to do it. If I didn't have Lamar, We'll look at the board after this. If it was not an elite, true elite QB team, I would be a lot less likely to do it. We're going to go ahead and grab one more receiver. I hardly ever take him, but it is a Lamar team. We do have a couple Buffalo players. Oh man, I'm tripping. My bad. I was thinking of my last team that I had Lamar on. Womp womp. Oh well, accidents happen. We didn't want D Hop on that team at all. It's been a long week, guys. I told y'all. Oh well, it happens. I was thinking of my last team that I just drafted with Lamar, and I was throwing D Hop on there. We're all gonna lose anyways. See, let's go catch up over here on. Hold on. I know I'm behind on the chat a little bit. Let's see what was going on. Exactly, you get your. I think we showed that one already. Usually you have to. Don't have a strong preference. I'm just listening in the background while trying to cook up this draft. I'm not cooking. This room is super fast. Yeah, it is flying through. That's part of the beauty of the 20-second clocks. We had a boo-boo pick in Hopkins. We made a mistake. We got this team mixed up with our last team. 5 running backs. I started them late, so I wouldn't mind throwing one more on here at least. There's none of those quarterbacks that I like. I'm not into handcuffing running backs. We got 2 tight ends. I don't want another receiver though. I guess let's go with Hunt. We just talked about how I'm not in on Pacheco. Hunt is old and gross, I know. But he was pretty good last year. He gives us a 6th running back. We have one more pick left. I think I'm going to keep this probably at a 2 tight end team. I think I'm going to take one more quarterback, just some kind of backup. I actually have my mind on somebody. But I warn you, it's a little gross, so be prepared. Since we accidentally took Hopkins, we're just going to go with some wild Week 17 stuff. And we're going to have Malik Willis out there running around for Green Bay in Week 17 because Jordan Love is hurt. DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a game out of nowhere where he catches 7 balls for only 50 yards, but 2 of them are touchdowns. That's how we're drawing it up. We finished with the 4-6-7-2. Hurts, Lawrence, Milroe, and Willis. Running back room, we think is good enough. Kyron, Judkins, Ray Davis, Eckler, Shipley, Hunt. Our first 4 receivers is the strength of the team, led by Neighbors, Brown, Hunter, J-Mo, Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, and the old man Hopkins. Kept it at 2 tight ends. Hawkinson will hold it down for me. Strange is doing his thing paired up with Lawrence. What's DC doing over there? He has a 4-6-7-2. That is my team, Jeremy. Click the wrong one. Why would it not let me click on a different team, guys? There it goes. That was weird. It keeps. Oh, I guess do I have to have the draft over with before I can look at a different team there? Is that what I'm doing wrong? Making more underdog rookie mistakes over here? We have one more pick left to go. I don't know what position I want it to be. We could go ahead and add a third tight end. I was really wanting to just leave it at 2. Or we could take another flyer at running back. I think we're going to take another flyer at running back. We're going to throw Kendre Miller on there. We liked him as a prospect. I liked him as a prospect a little bit. Maybe this is the year that age finally catches up with Kamara. I'm not really that in on the guy that they drafted. We will leave it with 2 tight ends, which is what I thought I was going to do. So it finished as the 4-7-7-2. Was debating if we wanted a 7th running back or a 3rd tight end. Let's look at Doc's team now. He finished also with a 4-7-7-2. I am correctly looking at his team this time and not trying to call out my own again. Goff, Young, Shook, and Daniel Jones as the quarterbacks. Running back room of Brown, Kamara, Warren, Spears, Dowdle, Hunter, and Marks. Wide receivers Chase, Amon, Olave, Kirk, Leggett, Pierce, and Felton. I like Felton as a really late pick. He's somebody I've been tacking on at the very end of drafts. Kittle and Jatavian Sanders as his tight ends. He also kept it at 2. Got a little bye week problem with the tight ends, but hey, a lot of times tight ends don't get you many points anyways. At least all the other weeks you can take the best score, and Kittle will probably hit your lineup decently anyways. All right, guys, y'all let me know. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to draft a draft? Call it a night? What we going to do? Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Y'all put in the chat if you want to draft or not. Doc says he's got to hit the sack. Good drafting with you, though. Yeah. Anytime, man. You know when I'm on here. Tomorrow, remember, we'll be on a little early, but most nights it's 9:45. I'll do one more, but you might not see this in time. I see it in time. Are you live right now, Mark? Like on the stream? Or are you still on 5-minute delay or what? Let's make sure we get in this right. Hartman, if you're still around, let's get in something. What y'all want to do? You want to do another Superflex? What do you want to do, Mark? You want to do a Superflex? Do you have any of the 5 entries left? Mark says he's back home on some good internet. Thank heavens for good internet. He already tapped out on his hound dog. Let's do a super flex. I'll go over there right now and I'll count it down for you. Hartman, if you're listening in the background, we're about to hop in one. Superflex, 20 seconds. It's late. Let's run it quick and go to bed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm entering now. We need 9 people, so y'all should be able to get in if you want to. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to fill up the room this time of night. Waiting on 5. Waiting on 5 people if you want to hop in it with us. It is a 20-second super flex. We did 2 of them already. One of them we had the 2 spot. We took Lamar. We just did a Hurts team from the 4 spot. Maybe they'll give us the back half of the board this time. We wouldn't mind the back half of the board. I like both those teams I built tonight, though. We did a good job of correlating them. Had a little bring back actions going on. I think we had enough QB firepower. I did them both the same way. I started with an elite QB, and then in the second and the third round, from the front part of the board, double tapped receiver. One of them was Neighbors and Nico. The other one was, I believe, Neighbors again and AJ Brown. Yeah, it was. I know it was Brown because it was paired with Hurts. Waiting on 3. Shouldn't take too much longer from this point. Said I sniped you on Shaheed, but it's funny because you sniped me on Ken Walker and Hawkinson in the same draft. You know who my guys are. It's all good. You can have your guys too. There's plenty to go around. Got cooked in the Superflex streets enough today. I like the 2 teams I drafted tonight. We'll see how this one turns out. We'll be back on tomorrow. I think me and, like I said, BBG are going to do a BBM. We're just going to do one. And then I'll probably ask him before he gets off what he's going to be drafting. And off a stream, I'll probably just try to hop in some of his drafts against him or whatever and have some fun that way tomorrow night on a Friday night. We got the 3rd pick. They keep giving us the front part of the board tonight. That's all right. We'll take it. Got to get them while you can. I'm not going to complain about starting my teams with a Lamar, Jaden, or Allen. I'm assuming this one will probably be Jaden for a nice little mix. We got a Lamar team tonight, a Hurts team tonight, and probably about to get a Jaden team. Mark is in the 10 hole. I don't recognize any other names. If for some reason you are in here and you happen to find my stream, let me know and we'll call you out. We are drafting Superflex. Superflex Wednesday. Thursday. I am really off tonight. My bad, guys. I tell y'all it's been a long week. Figured they'd go Lamar. We'll get our Jaden. Nothing wrong with that. Now we'll watch the board for a while and see what comes on back. You know what? I had only had maybe 5 or 6 drafts in so far of the Superflex, and I only had one from the very front, Allen. And I don't remember the exact team. It was the one spot I took Allen, and I think I went running back maybe, or I don't remember exactly what I did, but I remember I didn't like that team as much as I seem to like these ones I'm drafting from the front end tonight. I think I do like it better when I just take 2 of the elite receivers that they leave you there and then start building out running backs later in the draft with make sure I get a good 6 of them or something like that. Sometimes 7 if I wait a long time maybe. I've liked some of my teams from the back half too. My favorite, I don't remember who all was on it, and I probably pushed quarterback way too much and I need to get lucky on some stuff. But if I get lucky with the quarterbacks, the team started Bijan and Gibbs from about the 10 hole, I want to say. But quarterbacks are a little gross on that team. Real gross, actually. Mark got him a Barkley share all the way back at 10. Nothing wrong with that. I started one earlier today from the 10 spot, Bijan and CMC. I like the way that one turned out. That's the one we showed at the beginning of the stream. In the first 6 rounds, I took 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. My quarterbacks on that team, they were CJ, Bo Nix. I forget who the third guy was. What are they going to give us this time? Kind of hope somebody takes Neighbors because I like Neighbors a lot. And I'd be tempted to take him if he's there. But we just took him twice already tonight. Kind of wouldn't mind mixing it up a little bit. You're going to make us do it again. They're going to have to throw the ball. Their defense isn't still going to be that great. They play against Washington. They play against Dallas. They play against Philly. So I'm not afraid to have a bunch of second round neighbors in Superflex paired up with elite QBs. We'll keep doing it if that's what's there. There goes Nico. We might start a little different this time. We might not do the double receiver thing. If BTJ goes, then we definitely won't. If he's there, we might still do it. It's either going to be BTJ or HN. It's whatever this guy wants to leave us. And he went golf, so we have our pick. Let's go HN this time. We just did a Lawrence team. We did 2 teams tonight with elite quarterbacks and double tapped receiver. Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm big on HN too this year. We'll grab him. See what comes back to us. I'm just ignoring wide receiver early because you only need two. Maybe I'll try and switch it up though. That's what I've been talking about tonight. I definitely feel like your strategy should be different in a super flex because we can start the quarterback. And yeah, you only need to start only having to start two receivers and two running backs versus the normal format where it's two running backs, three receivers. I think that should definitely shift the wide receiver versus running back power a little bit more towards running backs being more important. I almost am wondering, have we shifted that too much? And so that's why I purposely set out tonight, if stud wide receivers that I like were there, not being afraid to double tap them early. And I'm really liking how they turned out. I liked how those last two teams turned out. I think after in that one team's case, I ended up getting Tet and somebody else really good with them too. But then I stopped for a long time at receiver, and I think I only finished with 6 on the team. Yeah, I took Bijan in the last one from the 10 spot. So I'll go Saquon this time and see what happens. That's kind of what the board gave you too. I think Bijan was on. Yeah, Bijan went 8 this time. But nothing wrong with that. I mean, generally Barkley goes ahead of Bijan, and he's not always going to fall all the way back there to the 10 spot. This guy right here in the 7 spot took Mahomes at the 7 spot. That's what freed it up for you. See, like, I think this is wrong. Like, to start your draft, and he's a badge guy. Y'all let me know if y'all recognize that name. Y'all know him better than me. But we went Mahomes in the first, Fields in the second, Dak in the third. We're spending our first 3 picks all on quarterbacks, and we can only start 2. I think that's bad, personally. I could be wrong, though. We'll see what comes to us. It's getting kind of close. Where was the one Nico drafter at? He's over there in the 1 hole. He's already got 2 QBs. He probably might take him, though. Both of them have 2. I'm going to take Tyreek since I took Achan. Both of the guys in between my picks have 2 quarterbacks. So I'm kind of thinking there's a chance one of them doesn't go quarterback since they have elite. He went quarterback. I could be wrong. They could just go ahead and take it and then leave me nothing but Penix. But that's all right. We'll make it work. We'll probably, if that happens, just wait and try to get some guys from down in that one on the next one. Or unless he takes 4 quarterbacks, what I was hoping would happen is CJ come back to CJ or Drake May come back to me. Never mind, he took 4 quarterbacks. He says I want all of the quarterbacks. We could go Kyron again. We got 2 receivers. Let's do it. Jaden Daniels, Achan and Kyron at running back, Neighbors and Hill at wide receiver. It's a good little start. I can work with that. See, like, this is bad too, in my opinion. The 2 hole went Lamar, Amon, and then Goff, Drake May, and CJ. He drafted 4 quarterbacks in the first 5 rounds. I think that's bad. You guys tell me what you think. Am I right? Yeah, it's a fair debate, especially if you're getting a true elite receiver because they can really separate at the position. Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't know like even the first one when I said I think I might do this with a hero RB once I took my first RB, but then I got to a point not too much later in the draft and I liked Walker on the board, so I took him as a second one. So I do think with this style or with this format, it probably isn't that ideal to go true like zero running back. I think you were in there, Hartman. Earlier before my stream started, I was watching that the Fantasy Network with Steve and his sister, and Eric from Spike Week was in there. The true RB bro or the true zero RB bro that he is. He was drafting it just like it was dang near a BBM, and I didn't really like his team that much to be honest. I had to get out of there because I was doing some stuff with my daughter before she went to bed. But I think I watched that particular draft till about the maybe 13th round or so. I was listening and kind of watching, and I was not liking his team personally. Let's see what we're gonna do here. The group of quarterbacks we were hoping somebody came back to us did not come back to us. Anthony Richardson just went, who we also were in on. And see, I think I'm not going to be afraid to do this. I really like Tet. I'm super high on Tet. And even though I already have two receivers, I can start a receiver at the flex. That's part of where I think is really getting overblown. Is like we're all about receivers in the flex. You know, your classic slappy old draft, five receivers in the first 6 or 7 rounds. But then on here, we act like we have to have a running back in the flex. I don't know. I like a receiver room with Neighbors, Hill, and McMillan. I have two running backs I feel good about. We're going to go ahead and take not Sam, Jackson Dart. We're going to have to get ugly and piece it together with our quarterbacks the rest of the way. We got Neighbors. Hopefully Dart can take it over soon from old man Wilson. Mark started Barkley, then went Caleb and Trevor Lawrence, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, and Travis Hunter for the stack. I had a try. I don't know if you caught it, Mark. I think you were out for a while, but I took Lawrence and Hunter in the last draft. That was one of my stacks. I'm not that in on Hunter, but I'd already taken Lawrence kind of like you did, so I figured it was a good time to grab me a Travis Hunter share. I need some more quarterbacks. They're a little thinner than they normally are at this point in the draft because we have one team that drafted 3 quarterbacks already. All of them pretty dang high in the draft. Thought we had one that drafted 4 already. I guess not. I guess it was just those 3. No, there he is, 4. The 2 hole. Lamar, Goff, Drake May, and CJ. He's going to get he's going to get 2 good QB scores, that's for sure. We'll look at his team here in a few rounds and see if we think he catches up enough at wide receiver and running back to make it viable. I'm going to start looking for mine. Well, I guess we got a little bit of time. Let's see what the back half of the board's doing first. Mark went with Waddle. coming back around to him again. Yeah, I agree. I agree that was too many quarterbacks too early. Yeah, I don't think you can pile up receivers like crazy, but a balanced build like you're doing could definitely be a good approach. Yeah, and I mean, I'm just trying to switch it up. Like if you I don't know if you caught the very beginning of my stream, but I showed one that I drafted earlier today where it was the opposite of these. I think from the back half of the board, I am more likely to go running back heavy because that's where the value's at. And like earlier from I believe it was the 10 hole where Mark's at, I, I went B. John, CMC, and then I took three quarterbacks in a row after that, and then another running back after that. So my first six picks were three running backs, three quarterbacks. I think we can wait one more on there. Gotta pick somebody. We're gonna get Tony Pollard. Um, I like Pollard. He looked a lot better last year. Going back to the Pacheco thing, 2 years ago, Pollard was his first year after that same kind of injury that Pacheco had, and he did not look good at all. And then last year he looked pretty good. Could have went with my boy Hawkinson there, but I've taken him in both of the drafts we did tonight. Because quarterback is getting so thin because of those guys overdrafting quarterbacks, or at least the one dude in particular. I think we have a few other teams with three. It's not something I'm normally a fan of, but since we took Dart a little earlier and since we have neighbors, we're going to go ahead and throw old man Russ on here also because at least we know we have the New York quarterback, unless it's old Jameis Winston, which I think some injuries would have to happen. I think it'll be Russ first. Dart will probably get the ball next. We got behind a little bit, and we really like the core of Achane, Williams, and Pollard. We really like Neighbors, Hill, and Tet. So we don't want to kill the team. We got to do what we got to do to try to make sure we have enough quarterback firepower to give our skilled players a chance to be successful. Let's check on Mark back there. Cooper Cup. You into old man Cup, Mark? But you got two QBs. Think I know what's coming. I knew it was coming. As soon as I saw you take Cup, I figured you were taking Milrow. This team, we're going to need to make sure that we have plenty of wide receiver and running back firepower because this is the type of team that there are going to be some weeks that our Superflex spot is going to have to get filled with a position player, which right now we have six really good position players. Don't really think I want to go with a running back yet. So I don't really like those guys that are on the board. It's a tough spot. Let's go Let's get Jennings. We're going to go Jennings. Pearsall, they say, has a little bit of soft tissue stuff going on right now. I know, I know. Shanahan says it's nothing to worry about. Like we haven't heard that before. I don't trust him with any kind of injury issues anymore. Not after last year. Last year was a final straw. He's always been kind of real shady with that type of stuff. Do we want to go receiver? Running back. Peek in on the quarterbacks. We're at that spot where, let's see, what do we want to do here? We're on the clock. Don't really want to do him on this team. Could reach down to Higgins. I guess we'll put Shakir on there. We keep saying we need to make sure we got plenty of good firepower to hit our Superflex spot some weeks. Neighbors, Hill, Ted, Jennings, Shakir. That's a nice little group of 5. We got Achane, Kyron, and Pollard at running back. We got whoever the New York quarterback is, hopefully, and Jaden at quarterback. We're going to add some more quarterbacks to this team, but, we're just going to wait. Things slow down now. We're just going to take a couple shots at backup quarterbacks later here in the draft. See if we can't find anything that might work into a stack with one of them even. And I think I see maybe what I might want to do coming up. We'll see what's on the board when it gets back to us. I'll flip it to the board for you guys for a minute. Winding this one down. This will definitely be the last draft. I got to get to bed after this. Mark grabbed Ramondre. What's some of these other teams got going on? Mahomes is sure starting to get pushed further and further up that first round. He went at the 9 spot in one night tonight. What was that, the 7 spot in this one? Yeah, the 7 spot in this one. We're going to look around for a minute on the board, see what we want to do here. Try to piece together something at quarterback. I think what I'm going to do with this one, I think I'm going to rely on my running backs, Achane and Kyron holding it down for me. Pollard being in the mix too. We're going to get a little crazy with this one. We're going to first reach down a little bit and take Mr. Joe Flacco himself. He's going to be our chaperone quarterback. We have old chaperone receivers. He's going to be my chaperone quarterback. But it's not going to be another Cleveland quarterback. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the guy I would like to put with him will hang around a few more picks. If so, we'll have 5 quarterbacks. But we're going to technically look at it like a 4 quarterback room since we have Dart and Russ. That's essentially one, just making sure we have him. This guy has 4 quarterbacks, so I think it's pretty, hopefully, safe to say. But Mr. Flacco is going to be our chaperone for Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins has to play quarterback for somebody somewhere this year, right? And he's a good quarterback. I mean, for this style of format in the 13th round, just needing to make sure I can piece together something. Jaden should hit our lineup most weeks. We're okay doing gross things like this when we're just trying to get it for our second and our third quarterback. We have every week except their bye a second quarterback of some sort with New York. And then I'm just hoping that Flacco probably starts the year at QB. Maybe there's an injury somewhere and Kirk Cousins gets traded there because they need a quarterback. Maybe it works out. It's right around the time Flacco gets benched for one of the rookies. So we're going to call him our chaperone. It's winding down. We're in the 13th round. Mark grabs Bigsby. My original plan was actually if you took Ninjoku, but if Ninjoku would have came back over here, I was going to take Ninjoku first and then take Flacco here in the 13th for a little stack. But it's alright. We don't necessarily need them stacked. We may be able to throw something on there at the end. What's his name should be hanging around here somewhere. There he goes, Tillman. Flacco likes to throw chunk the ball deep. We could take Tillman. We're going to probably do 3 really late tight ends. We could get gross with one of them and get the Fannin guy. But I don't think we need to do all that. Right now we need to get us some running backs because we do only have 3 and we are in the 14th round. But there's a lot of guys we like in this range, so we can double tap a couple of them and then we'll be at 5. Only 5 receivers, but our top 3 were Strong and Neighbors, Hill, and Tet. So we like it from that standpoint. What are my running backs bye weeks? 12, 8, and 10. That might be a little important. We're going to go Braylon Allen first. And if he doesn't go in the next couple picks, we will then take Will Shipley, our other favorite click. We could throw Hollywood on there as another receiver. Not really any correlations we can go after. I like Fryermuth, but the whole Janu getting traded there kind of makes me a little hesitant. Or Janu rumored to possibly be traded there. Fryermuth went anyway, so he's not an option. This guy only has 3 running backs. Hopefully he doesn't take Shipley. Shipley's not the highest rated one on the board, so there's a chance we get him. Actually, we're going to do without Shipley. We don't have any tight ends yet, and we don't have any stacks for Jaden. And Ertz is still hanging around. Not that we have to have Jaden stacked, but it's nice to throw someone on there. We also, as one of our last picks, Could throw old Noah Brown on there. CJ made him very usable. He had 35 for 400 last year. That's kind of gross. And they have more receivers this year. Probably just do it out. We're okay running Jaden naked. We don't have McLaurin. I'm not really that in on Debo. He's not naked. We did get Ertz, but I was saying if I have to run him naked, he's one that I don't mind doing it with. Yeah. This one's coming down the backstretch. Let's see what Mark grabbed. Rico. I didn't think Shipley would make it back to me, but I was kind of hoping he did. I just didn't want to pass up on Ertz since we had Jaden and didn't have any tight ends yet. We are in the 16th round. 3 picks left. 5 picks left. Sorry, we are in Superflex. We have 5 picks left to play with. Of course, as soon as I get the 18 rounds in my head from DraftKings, they drop a Superflex on us. Nick Chubb. Hopefully he plays football for Mark. There's a couple sneaky spots he could sign, and it would be an awesome pick right there. If he goes to like Dallas, I think that would be a really good spot for him. Chicago, because at least going off the pass, Ben Johnson hated Swift whenever he was in Detroit together. That's why they traded him to Philly. Let's see what we want to do. We're definitely done at quarterback. Hollywood is still hanging around at pick 190. Nobody wants to take Hollywood. Ow, as Pete would say. I can't pass that up, right? I mean, Hollywood in the 190s? 80, I'll take it. I wasn't planning on going receiver there, but he was falling way too much to let slide. Let's recap the team while it gets back to us real quick. We went with 5 QBs because it's really like 4. We just made sure we got the New York room with Jaden. We got our chaperone and Flacco, who's going to hold us over till Cousins gets traded somewhere. Running back room is thin right now, but that's okay. We're building a little different. Achane, Williams, Pollard, and Braylon's the only 4 we got. They do all have different bye weeks. We have a strong receiver room. Let me look at my pick real quick, and then we'll get back. We're actually going to add one more running back to that room, so at least now we have 5. We threw Marshawn Lloyd on there. I like the fact that he had a week 5 bye, which doesn't match up with any of my other bye weeks. Receiver room, like we said, is really strong. We have Neighbors, Hill, Tet, Jennings, Shakir, and Hollywood. Sticking with those 6, that's all we need in this format. We have Ertz as our only tight end, paired up with Jaden. We took both the New York quarterbacks because we had Neighbors. We don't have any stacks for Flacco or Cousins. We just threw them on there because we needed quarterbacks. We are into the 17th round. This one is finishing out. We are going to tack on 2 tight ends and end this with the 5-5-6-3. We actually have 3 picks left. My bad. It's late. Yeah, we got 3 picks left still. I knew those numbers didn't add up. So we can even get us one more running back. We'll probably end up with a 5-6-6-3. We're not going to take 4 tight ends. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, this is a good pick. Like I said, if he doesn't play football, obviously it sucks, but he wants to play football. And those two teams in particular, if he goes to Dallas or Chicago, I could see him being very useful if he still got some juice left. It'll just come down to, does he still have some juice left? Finishing this one up, we did 3 Superflex tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow night at a special time, 8:30. Do we want to go ahead and lock up our 6th running back and then wait for tight end? I guess let's see. Is there any tight ends that we love up here? Absolutely not. Tight end is just going to be super gross for us, I guess. Let's go with Miles Sanders. Because I believe if Chubb or no one else gets traded to Dallas, Miles Sanders could end up being a really good pick. If Javante's really as toast as everybody seems to think Javante is, Miles Sanders is going to end up playing a lot of running back for the Dallas Cowboys with the current running back room that they have now, because Blue will not be able to handle a workload. I still need to look more into that guy you were telling me about, Mark. I started looking into him one night, but it was late and I didn't really do a lot of work on him. Moffitt or something like that's his name. We're going to go Harold Fannin. Look at that. We got us a Flacco stack. We'll see what tight end is left when it gets back to us. Our tight end room is going to be pretty weak on this team, but I think we can make up for it with the rest of the team. Unless you have one of the true studs, really good tight end. If you're building a team where you're taking 3 late tight ends, they're not really accounting for that big a score much anyways. You're just kind of hoping that you get lucky and more weeks than not, one of them catches a random touchdown to give you something decent. And hope that we have enough firepower at running back and receiver with our quarterback mixture that we can get out. 2 of us can advance, so the other one can be you, Mark. That's how we draw it up, buddy. Yes, that's the guy I was thinking about. Mark was telling me about him the other night. I knew he was there. I had briefly heard of him before. I started looking into him a little bit. I need to do more work on him because that Cowboys room, somebody could really emerge out of nowhere. I've been taking Miles Sanders sometimes at the very end of drafts. I just feel like if Javante is really done, it's not going to be Blue. I don't think Blue can handle a lot of carries. I think they'll use him more as just like change of pace, try to really use his speed. Blue had a chance. I live in Austin and I'm a Texas fan. And Blue had a chance early in the year this year because the Baxter guy that was supposed to be the Longhorns running back got hurt in training camp, and they gave Blue the first crack at it, but for whatever reason they didn't think that he could handle the rock, at least as their true number one running back. So that's when they ended up giving. I can't think of the other guy's name now because he was kind of like not even really supposed to be a major part of the team. That guy that ended up being their main running back this year. Is anybody taking dart throws on old man Taysom Hill? I'm not doing it, but I just wondered if anybody else is. There's one tight end that we really hope this guy doesn't take because we're really in on him, and he didn't. We like Arroyo from Seattle. Arroyo. That's our team. We finished with the 5-6-6-3. We like it. Let's look at it and then we'll go call marks out. It's really like the four quarterback room. We have Jaden. We have the Giants quarterback, whichever one of them it may be. We have Flacco. Should start the year as their quarterback. Then we have Cousins, who knows, maybe Aaron Rodgers doesn't play football. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play football, I think Kirk Cousins is getting traded to Pittsburgh. In which case, he'll probably start the year as their quarterback and we'll be even better with this team. We have running backs of Achan Kyron, Pollard, Braylon Allen, Marshawn Lloyd, and Miles Sanders. Receiver room, we kept it at 6, but they're powerful. Neighbors, Hill, Tet. Then we got Jennings, Shakir, and Brown. We got Brown at a really good discount. I mean, I know ADPs haven't quite adjusted for this format, but right now it's 154, and he fell all the way to 190. Tight ends, Ertz paired with Jaden, Harold Fannin since we had Flacco, and we took our little tight end we like in one of the later rounds anyways in Arroyo. That is our team. Let's go look at Mark's real quick. Then we're going to call it a night, guys. Mark was over in the 10 spot, I believe. Yes, he finished with a 3.674. Caleb, Trevor, and then some late season Magic and Jalen Milrow. Barkley, Judkins, Ramondre, Tank, Rico, and threw Nick Chubb on there, which could turn out really good if he plays, depending on where he goes. Receivers, Wilson, Moore, Hunter, Waddle, Cup, Austin, and Coker. I believe he had some nice little stacks. Hunter with Lawrence. You had Caleb, goes with Moore. You had Milrow with Cup also. Tight ends, Njoku, Strange, Jatavion Sanders, and Noah Fant. 4 tight end build. It's a good team. I like it. If Caleb and Lawrence are really balling out this year, like I think their offenses are capable of, and if Milrow really starts playing week 9 like I think he will, team could do some damage. Definitely. Anyways, guys, it was fun tonight. Let's see, can't make sure we didn't miss any comments. Miles Sanders got some good coach speak in the last day or two. I heard that. That's why I've drafted him a couple times tonight. No, I think Taysom might be done. Yeah, I haven't drafted him either. He's all banged up. He's got all kind of injuries right now. That dude took Mark Andrews as his only tight end. Which dude? Let's go look at it real quick. I didn't even pay attention to that. There he is. The 4 quarterback dude. Yeah, that team. Chris, let's look at it over here. I like looking at him here. He started with Lamar. He has Lamar, Goff, May, and CJ. That's one too many when you're drafting those type of quarterbacks. Kenneth Walker, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Rashad White, Marks, McLaughlin. I like the running back room. Nothing wrong with the running back room. Amon, Judy, Diggs, Downs, Bateman, Kirk, Judkins, Noel, and Douglas. And only Lamar. I mean, only Andrews. You're right. If he takes one less quarterback there, pick your pick. Take either May or CJ with Goff and Lamar, and that's probably plenty good enough. Even if he really just wanted to be different and keep four quarterbacks, let's go look at the board for a minute. Because that team actually turned out a little better than what I thought it would have. If he would have just, if he would have taken maybe two less, well, I guess he wanted Noel because he had CJ. If he would have maybe taken one more tight end at least somewhere, maybe it could have worked. I don't know if I'd want to go all year with just Andrews. I still don't love the team, but it could have maybe worked. I would have still rather picked one of those two. You could have got my pick in Kyron instead of CJ. Or if he wanted to wait on Drake May, he had Drake May and CJ available there. This guy had already took two QBs. To me, this team would have been a lot better if he would have made his pick at the 4-5 turn out of Jacobs and Brees and took one of them there in the fourth instead of May, then just grabbed CJ or May, whichever one came to him there, because there's no way this guy would have took both of them, having Allen and Purdy already. So one of those two quarterbacks would have came to him in the fifth. He could have had Brees Hall on that team, which then he could have not made these two picks here, and he could have thrown two just whatever tight ends on the very end to help give him a little bit of depth. He would have still had Lamar, Goff, and one of those quarterbacks. He would have then had, let's say, Brees, Walker, Harvey, Jones, White. That would have been his running back room. That would have been a lot better. That team was really close to being a damn good team, in my opinion. Or passing on QJ for a tight end would have been the spot. Yeah. Thank you guys. I'm glad y'all appreciated it. I'm trying to do what I can do. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. We'll keep doing it. Hope you guys will tune in tomorrow night. Remember, it's going to be a special time, 8:30 Central, because we're going to have Best Ball Guy says he's coming on with me. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I'm going to get out of here. Talk to you tomorrow.